Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. This is the 14 First Alert Weather Show at 9 o'clock here. Let me try that again. I should be. There I am. We have a great start to the weekend and a soggy finish. We'll get into that in just a second. If you'd like to comment in here on the feed, you can do that on the 14 News Facebook page. And remember, we're on every night at 9 o'clock. So we're a source here for your weather. Only weather, a little more long form and more detailed forecast for you. Well, not a lot of forecast involved with today. It was gorgeous out there. For tonight, with that clear sky, we should drop back into the lower 40s. Sunny for the start of the weekend, especially tomorrow morning. Clouds will increase during the day, and then we have clouds and rain on the way for Sunday. And that will set the stage then for a gloomy week ahead with daily rain chances and maybe some thunderstorms toward the middle of the week. Our high temps tomorrow easily in the mid-60s with clouds overtaking the area during the afternoon. Here's 12:30, and you see that cloud deck starting to move in from the west. Maybe a few showers in there as well, and then better chances for rain as the evening wears on. We will maybe break out of the clouds for a period on Sunday, and then by late Sunday night into Monday, we may start the event with a little snow, but you'll see here the warmer air moves in and it'll be all rain by Monday morning. So we're not anticipating any travel difficulties, even though we may see some snow showers or flurries or even snow mixed with that rain very late Sunday night and early Monday morning. After that first round of rain and or snow, we will likely get somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe a half an inch of rainfall, which we definitely need. This has been a very dry February. Other than that pause in the warm temperatures, we will return to well above average temps beginning Tuesday and actually rise towards 70 by Friday. Thunderstorm chances look best here maybe Wednesday and again on Friday. Forecast temperatures all the way up through the week. You can see those 60s, upper 60s to near 70 on Wednesday. We're going to look at the thunderstorm elements here. And then there was a 73. You had to look quick on Friday. Now, those are the GFS temperatures. They're subject to change, as is any model data. Also, more plentiful moisture in there with dew points in the 60s forecast for Thursday. So warm and moist air moving in. Let's look at CAPE. This is another ingredient you need for thunderstorms. We will have some moving in there from the southwest, or the conditions will be right, and then again on Friday. So just with those two elements and knowing a cold front's coming in, would not surprise me to see some thunderstorms. The bigger question is, will we see severe weather? And it's very early in the game right now. The shear forecast here a little more pronounced on Friday, meaning there would be more wind shear available to help those storms get stronger. The low-level jet stream does come into play now on Wednesday. That's significant if it does in fact play out that way, because it's those low-level winds that can sometimes cause storms to rotate or to produce hail or things like that. And the supercell index also showing some thunderstorm activity on Wednesday and then again on Friday. So that's why I'm kind of bookending the thunderstorm chances there on Wednesday and Friday. And the tornado risks, again, this is just an indication of, will conditions be favorable for tornadoes? And at least, first blush here, Wednesday looking like it might be. Now, whether we, see actual severe weather remains on the table. The machine learning forecast or program there from the Colorado State University that we often show here, CSU MLP, was not, it was a broad area of severe potential for the middle of the week. So it wouldn't surprise me to have a few strong to severe thunderstorms. It is that time of the year. In any case, we're going to get rain and a lot of it as the week goes by. We're at 57 outside right now, and temperatures around the area are in the middle 50s at this time. The temps for the month here, as we finish out our calendar, we were in third place, fourth place. Third place number-wise, because we've had 72, 69, and 68. So whatever. It was one of the warmer days here in February. Yesterday we picked up about 1/4 of an inch of rainfall, And that kept our monthly total. I don't think, well, we could still get rain before midnight tomorrow night, so that would change the number a little bit. But as it stands today, our ranking is we are tied for 5th driest February on record since the records began way back in 1897. We've only had that 6200ths. If we get more rain, I think the next number down is like 0.75 or something. So we may keep our perch there in the dry club. The drought monitor, I showed this yesterday, it was updated, and of course more of the tri-state now classified as either severe, moderately drought, or abnormally dry, and that's because of that very dry February that I just showed you. Let's look ahead here. So the cold front will come through tomorrow and provide a little focus for those showers, but it's really going to be the warm front here to the south kind of lifting or meandering back and forth that will create that zone for showers to develop, and maybe some snow here at first on late Sunday night and early Monday. After that, this is the GFS showing that first event. Then we get into Monday, Tuesday, more rain likely. Tuesday, Wednesday, and this is the first thunderstorm eligible system coming in. You see the cold front here, the low, and heavier precip indicated there, strong southerly winds. So a lot of the elements in place there to produce thunderstorms. Again, the severe threat is not completely ironed out at this stage. It usually is not. But over the weekend, Michael Fecka should have a better look at newer data, and we may have to put an alert day in there on Wednesday. And then we go through Friday, Saturday, same thing, another cold front coming through. This is what the GFS is showing for total rainfall. This will be for the entire week, and it ranges between 2 and 3 inches. We're going to do the very same thing now with the European model, which keeps us all rain on Monday, brings that next batch of rain through Tuesday, and then the thunderstorm chance on Wednesday with the cold front. It's right there. Thursday, Friday, more rain still. And in all of that, the European is also cranking out significant rainfall, close to 3 inches. It's actually a little wetter than that. So the bottom line here is we're expecting wet weather next week, beneficial soaking rain. Flooding issues, not so sure on that just yet. If we can digest the rain over the course of the week, shouldn't be an issue. Down to 40 tonight, 67 for the high tomorrow, and then the rain that I just mentioned there takes us through the 7-day forecast. We have much warmer than normal weather on the way, and much wetter than normal too, based on the Climate Prediction Center's outlooks there. And Mary gets another feature tonight. I've used up all the pet pictures again, so you all need to get over on 14news.com and submit your pet pics so we have a fresh set up here. I think I've used all the newest ones that we had. All right, let's see who's in here on a Friday night. Laura Gray is in there, and Jeanette Rice. Laura Gray it's Jeanette Rice's birthday. Well, I'm not going to sing. I guess we could. I mean, we've got unlimited time here on on streaming. Maybe not unlimited patience with the audience. So Jeff Miller's in there. Everybody wishing Jeanette a happy birthday. It's like our little club here. So good to know. Good. Glad you shared that information. Suzanne enjoyed the sun today. Let's see. All right, Zach Seeds, what's the likelihood of tornadoes next week? Well, as I showed you there, we can't rule anything out at this point with regard to severe weather next week. With it being warm and, March, etc., and all the other elements I showed you, yeah, I think, it wouldn't surprise me to see severe weather. But, we will have to get some more data and get a little closer there to really make that call. We should have a clearer picture, I think, over the weekend. Speaking of severe weather, once we get into March, we're into the official severe weather season in the tri-state, even though severe weather season is year-round. And one thing I wanted to talk about is a couple of the tools we use when we track tornadoes and severe thunderstorms, and that is velocity and correlation coefficient, or debris detection. So velocity is the thing in the radar, the product that shows us where rotation is occurring. Remember, red is wind that is blowing away from the radar, and green is coming toward the radar. And if you get a tornado like this one on December the 10th, back in 2021, you have a very prominent couplet or tornado signature on the radar. They're usually not that clear cut, and it takes a lot of looking and monitoring to see where you might have these couplets. Sometimes in connection with the couplet we get a debris ball or a debris signature on the radar, and that product that we use is called correlated coefficient. You can see why we don't use that name on the air. It's a little complicated and hard to say. But if you think about what it means, correlated coefficient, it basically has to do with the degree to which all the droplets, hydrometeors, things falling in the sky that the radar is lighting up, whether they're the same or different. So raindrops, for instance, would be more or less the same. So they would have a very high correlation coefficient. They would all pretty much relate to each other. Think of M&Ms, right? Those are regular M&Ms, not peanut. And so high CC would simply mean that all the hydrometeors are the same size roughly and not a concern. If, however, we have debris introduced into the atmosphere by tornado, by damaging winds, what have you, even large hail can do it sometimes, now the radar scan is seeing a whole jumble of different kinds of candy, not just M&Ms, and so there's not much correlation between one item and the next. So we would say that has a low CC or a low correlation coefficient, and we call that debris detection. It can be used and very useful, but it has to be used in the right way. Typically, to analyze the radar for debris, you have to look at velocity, reflectivity, the patterns that are in there, and to see where to look for that, right? So that if there were a tornado, let's say, or a hook echo like that one, there are specific places that you would look for the debris signature. In a volume scan, if you were to turn the storm up on its side and slice through several levels there, you can get a full picture of what a tornado or a severe thunderstorm looks like. This was actually the December 10th tornado, a volume scan. This was actually taken off of Gibson Ridge, Storm Analyst, GR3. And the reason I show this is it illustrates how tall that storm is and how highly reflective the core was in there. There were a lot of hail and debris being sucked up in the updraft by the tornado, and some of that debris got as high as 25 or 30,000 feet and then was propagated by the winds aloft. And so this is why we found canceled checks and photographs and things like that. The debris, by the way, doesn't have to be 2x4s and roofs and things. It can be paper, and anything that doesn't look like a raindrop is going to show a higher CC value. In the case of December 10th, debris was scattered over about a 250-mile swath. And we actually had dirty rain that fell in the tri-state, and that's because of the amount of dirt that was sucked up by that tornado and again ingested into the atmosphere and washed out with the rain. So just something interesting in there about some of the tools we use. Matthew Allen, that was the Mayfield storm. It was indeed. Sharp eye. Yeah. The picture that I had of it, that volume scan was actually over Mayfield when the storm was, well, it was EF4 intensity along most of its path. So, next week we're going to be talking about tornado safety and severe weather preparedness since we're getting into that season. I know you all are prepared anyway because you're watching this show and you're weather fanatics like the rest of us. So enjoy tomorrow's sunshine and then get ready for rain as we move into Sunday and next week. I'll have the full update for you on 14 News at 10. In the meantime, stay safe and we'll see you at 10.